He wants to. He wants her to see him as the emperor, because he sees her as the empress. I've always pictured the empress, the empress, the empress. And actually, somebody sent me Sweetheart, who I've been getting to know online, who watches these videos. This is shout out to you. You're so sweet. I don't want to call out your name because I want to give you privacy, but she's been sending me little things. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. My name is Holly. So grateful to have you all. Let's get into this reading. Really excited to be doing this. I'm doing a Johnny Depp career video. A lot of you have been asking me for it. I think it's Johnny Depp is like on my top 3, the most asked for. Harry Styles obviously number 1. Right now 2 and 3 is between It Ends With Us and Johnny Depp. So a lot of you have been asking me what's coming up with his career. I focused on his love last time, which I still believe is going to happen. I just think it's being postponed to whenever it's meant to happen, and whenever he's truly ready. I don't believe he thinks he's ready, which is totally valid. He's a mature man, and I'm sure he knows what he wants and he needs in a relationship. Okay, so I'm getting into, while I was shuffling, by the way, I'm using the Crystal Magic Tarot deck. When I was shuffling the cards, I got very peaceful energy, very happy. I get the sense that he's happy to be working again. I think that was one of the reasons he wanted to clear his name in the lawsuit that he won against his former wife, Amber Heard. And a long time ago, I will say this was 3 years ago. I can't believe it was 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago when I said that I strongly see him winning. I said I saw newspaper articles, people came after me, said it's not going to happen. I believed it would happen just because I saw very clearly that he would win. It's just what I see, and I've never been a Johnny Depp fan, honestly. It's kind of funny because some of the movies I've seen, like in my For You page, sometimes his movies come up. I actually saw a clip yesterday of a movie he did, Blow, with Penelope Cruz, and I was like, oh my gosh, I used to love that movie. I totally forgot. And Pirates of the Caribbean, I think I liked the first one. After that, I want to be mean. It's just not for me. I don't really like movies like that. But I've liked a lot of his movie. Edward Scissorhands, phenomenal. He's one of the best actors out there. He's really, really talented, and I think that he feels a peace. There's some kind of peace coming to the fact that he is getting to do what he loves. He is a creative. Geminis are like that. They're very creative. They're very spontaneous. A lot of them, which I think his Capricorn moon helps him with this. But a lot of Geminis, they need to follow through with what they do. They have great ideas in the beginning, but they need to have the discipline to follow through, which is what he has. So he's been very lucky with that. Because Geminis, I believe Gemini is the genius of the zodiac signs. I say this all the time. I'm a big Gemini fan. Actually, my midhaven is Gemini, so that makes a lot of sense. Because I'm a big fan. Even if Geminis annoy me sometimes, I don't really take it personally, which maybe I'm being biased. But I just love their creativity, the way they think, being the outsider, saying things that we need to say. And I've always said this since, well, not always, but in the past 7 years, I've said this, 6-7 years, that Geminis are going to be the leaders of the age of Aquarius. I really strongly believe that, because of the ability to just tell the truth. And personally, I don't like all Geminis, but I think that they're very necessary for the next phase of the zodiac age that we are in, which is the age of Aquarius. So as I was shuffling the cards, like I said, I got this energy of happiness. I just got a pain on my left arm, and I haven't had a pain there, so I think maybe he might have some kind of arthritis going on. I literally just got a pain on my left arm, so he might have arthritis, some kind of nerve issue. Walking, I get like bone issue, some kind of joint issue. I think really he gets overstimulated. I would recommend not drinking coffee. Just get that, don't drink coffee. Yeah, I got that very strongly. And I have said this before, I saw him in the street and he just had very calming energy. I'm really surprised because I saw something that said he doesn't have Native American heritage, like any genetics that are Native American, and I'm very shocked because he gave me, when I met him, very strong Native American energy. Not to say that all races are the same, but there's a spirituality and a calmness that I've seen in a lot of Native American people that he embodied. Not saying anything bad about anybody else. I just think that there's a spiritual component that he embodied that I've only seen in Native American people. So I don't know. I don't want to pigeonhole people. I'm just saying that they have a calming energy that I saw in him. Okay, and also his eyes too. I get that in his eyes. Okay, so like I said, I was shuffling. I got peace, calm, happiness, lots of happiness. I think that there might be some kids around him, little kids around him. I get little kids like playing like that. I get that. I don't know if I told you guys last time, I had a dream that I was doing my daily activities and he was like right next to me, which I thought was so weird. But like I said, I've had many dreams. Now I just accept them. I just accept that I have him in my dreams. Because some of you have said you have him in your dreams, so maybe that's a good thing, bad thing, I don't know. He doesn't come across like mean in the dreams that I have. He comes across very calm and like peaceful, very observant. I see him being very observant and just like watching. Yeah. So the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords, and I see here that you see how his arm, did he break his arm or something? And I just got pain in my arm. Some of you will let me know. I know a lot of you love Johnny Depp. I get it. I see why people love him, honestly. When I never understood it. I say this all the time. My sister was obsessed with him when we were kids. We used to share a room when we lived in an apartment. Then we moved to a house when we moved from America to South Africa, and she would have posts of him, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt on her wall, and Tom Cruise, for them. And I never understood any of her crushes for those four men. So I was just like, I don't get it. But it's just funny that I'm not gonna get too much into detail, but it's just funny that she would constantly be like, he's so cute, he's so this, and I never understood it. I never understood anybody liking Johnny Depp until I saw him in person, and I was like, I get it now. I totally get it. Like this inner poise, So I understand Johnny fans why you feel like that. I do. Even though I'm still not a Johnny Depp fan, I understand why you feel that way. But there must be something happening with his arm. I get like water, something happening with water. To just be careful of water. Like, I don't know what it is, just water. Be careful, that's what I got. So with Six of Cups, Ten of Swords, and the Strength card. So I always get the Strength card for him. I think it's his rising as a Leo. And I think with Ten of Swords, he's been through the ringer. And I have so much empathy for him. I say this all the time. Me and my sister were the only two people I knew that didn't believe that nonsense story that Amber Heard came up with. Never believed it. To this day, I still will never ever believe it. And it's your prerogative. You can believe it or not. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. He just doesn't seem like the type of personality, especially after seeing him. And obviously you can't judge people, but energy is very powerful. So some of what he has gone through has left a stain, and I understand. I keep seeing this a lot too, that he is a very sensitive soul, very observant. He observes people, and he just likes to observe people. And I say this all the time. Gemini and Aquarius, we're very similar that way. We think a lot. So people sometimes, especially because of the shape of my eyes, people think I'm sad, and I'll just be thinking, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm actually really happy. I'm just thinking." And we like to think. That's why I relate a lot to Geminis. Maybe because also my midhead was in Gemini, but sometimes I can just go out in nature and think the whole day, and I'll talk to anybody and just think, and I'll have a very fulfilled day. And Geminis are like that too. A lot of them that I met. And he is kind of manifesting, I wouldn't say a comeback because that's very cheesy, but he's manifesting being able to do what he wants to do. And he's manifesting being able to be seen in a strong light. He felt defeated. I feel for him. I see that he felt defeated, and he felt like Six of Coins and Temperance, that like people were kind of pitying him. So that might correlate to why he hasn't reached out to this woman, because I think she might kind of like pity him, you know. And he doesn't want to feel pitied by people he likes, you know. He wants to feel like they see him in a strong persona, not like, oh, poor him, you know, this happened to him, and because he wants to feel like it happened for him, which is very powerful. I'm telling you, he has a very powerful energy, and I understand now why people like, I really, really do, especially the more readings that I do on him. I get very just different kind of energy to a lot of Hollywood people that I don't want to judge them, but it's way deeper, and I admire that about somebody that can make so much money. At some point he was the #1 actor, and I really can admire someone who comes from humble beginnings, makes a ton of money, almost loses it all, and still can be humble and still appreciate the small things in life, you know. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. So let's see, how are his new, so a lot of his projects have to do with this, have to do with seeing him as somebody strong, you know, because I think she sees him, a lot of what he's doing is motivated by love, because he seems like a very romantic, I don't know, I can't remember what his Venus is in. If you guys can tell me in the comment, I know you guys love to tell me things, and I really appreciate it. His Venus might be in a fire sign, but he's what he does, a lot of his career goals he's doing to impress her, because she doesn't seem like she gets impressed very easily, and he's very romantic, like I said, which would explain why he got a tattoo of Winona Ryder. He did, right? That's what I remember. Somebody told me, my sister actually told me that he got a tattoo of her, and then he changed it to wine or something like that. But anyways, so he wants to move her. He wants her to see him as the emperor, because he sees her as the empress. You know, I've always pictured the empress. And actually somebody sent me Sweetheart, who I've been getting to know online, who watches these videos. This is shout out to you, you're so sweet. I don't want to call out your name because I want to give you privacy, but she's been sending me little things, not in a while because I've been very, very busy, but the last time, I think last year, she sent me this exhibition. I was actually going to see it, but I haven't been able to make it to New York, but hopefully it's on again and I'll try to make it. But she showed me that he likes tarot. I had no idea he likes tarot, but she said that he likes tarot, and she showed me this exhibit of, I think it was the Lovers and the Emperor. I think that, the Emperor and the Empress. And I've always seen in the readings that I've done of him and this mystery woman that she comes across as the Empress. Venus energy, that's why I think she has Taurus or Libra in her chart. Very sultry, soft, sweet. And he sees her as like comforting, you know. I think he watched her when he was going through his tribulations, and she comforted him in like different ways. Okay, so With the King of Coins, Two of Swords, and Five of Coins, he wants to be in the kind of position when he meets her that he won't have to feel destitute again. So he's just like doing, he might play chess. I see him playing chess too. This is just images that I get. I don't really know too much about him like that. But I see him playing chess, being very, which would make sense because I see him, he likes to think. He's very like, you know, a lot of dreams I've had about him, he's just looking and watching people. And that must be why he makes a great actor, because he can take on people's, not really take on, but he's like, why does this person do that like that? Oh, they're doing it because of that. You know, why is this person doing that like that? Oh, they're doing it because of that. Which actually, he would make a very good teacher or professor of sorts. Geminis make great teachers, I must say that. I think my favorite teacher, yeah, she was a Gemini. She was a Gemini. Her birthday was in June, early June. June 2nd, I believe. I can't really remember that far. But yeah, she was a great teacher. So with Eight of Swords, he sees that he's on some kind of like mission, and he doesn't want to be distracted. I think when he gets into his roles, he's very focused and nothing will stop him, which is kind of dangerous. I have dated an actor. I've dated a few actors actually. Some have been like on, obviously, not obviously, but have been featured in things that you might have seen. Some Broadway, some aspiring actors. But what I noticed in an actor that I briefly dated, we didn't date for quite a while, he is well known. He would, I wouldn't say we dated, that's a stretch. We were getting to know each other, let's say that. And in his roles, he would get very disciplined, very, very disciplined. And then when he wasn't acting or on set, he would drink a lot. And that kind of really deterred me. I'd go out with him and he would be drinking a lot. And I just thought, I don't want to be with somebody. And I don't judge people with drinking problems. You know, I have had people in my family. I've been through phases in my life where I've drank a lot too, which is, you know, it's a real thing. But a lot of actors, a lot of creators tend to be all-in type of people. And when you're an all-in type person, I know that about myself, I'm an all-in type person, you really have to choose healthy choices and not decide, okay, well, I'm drinking today, so it's all in. I'm all into partying, I'm all into work, it's about balance. So I would recommend that he implements balance, you know. And being in hospital last year really taught me that, because I used to be like, okay, I only get one sugar a day. I used to give myself one sugar a day because my grandmother died from diabetes. And I had to remember, like, it's the little things in life, like reward yourself for little things in life. So I started eating chocolate, like 5 little chocolates a day, you know. Balance, moderation and balance. So it's not like, okay, my sugar day, I eat every sugar I see inside. So I would recommend that for him, balance. And even when he's on set, still finding little healthy habits to create this balance. I really think there's something with his arm. Left arm is what I get. That he could stop drinking coffee and stop drinking milk. And that might help him a lot. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I just got that energy. That's like inflammation in the arm. Could be arthritis, but I see inflammation in the arm. Okay, so the Empress, the Hermit, and Queen of Coins. So it's almost as though he wants, I've said this before, I see it strongly again, he wants this to be like his last big bang before he plans on proposing to this woman. I see it very strongly. She's very quiet, the Hermit, you know, very quiet. She could have Virgo in her chart. Very quiet, kind of like ballerina type. She could have done ballet. Look, this is very ballerina, I get. But also this white dress symbolizes purity, marriage, Queen of Coins, which is Queen of Pentacles in the traditional deck, Eight of Coins and Three of Cups. But he wants to be able to be her support, because I think she likes support, and that's why I think he's doing this last career push, to be able to be there for her. When he comes in, he doesn't want to ever be apart from her. It's actually really sweet. He's very sweet, very, very sweet energy, which a lot of Geminis are sweet. I'm telling you, I've dated a few Geminis, and they're just always very like, I don't know how to explain it. Not always, let me not say always. My therapist told me don't say always. But they have a sweetness about them. I was talking to a Gemini friend today who's a guy, and he's just so like supportive and innocent, like innocent and supportive at the same time, and it's just so sweet. They have a sweetness about them that I can't explain. They're very childlike but mature, which is so sweet. So let's see, how is the movie going to do? Okay, so he wants to come across as romantic, King of Cups. He wants to come across as romantic and show this side not only to this Empress but the world that the Moon, Seven of Cups, he hasn't ever stopped being himself, you know, even though he was portrayed in the media as this bad person and blah blah blah, which was very unjust, by the way, very, very unjust. He wants to show that he has always been tender-hearted. I get tender heart, so that might mean something for him specifically. A lot of you Johnny Depp fans know what I'm talking about. Tender heart, just tender heart. He wants to be surrounded by love, you know, even and I think that's why he chose Penelope Cruz. She's one of my favorite actresses, by the way. Not chose, but I think that's why he made it intentional with the Star, Page of Cups, and Knight of Coins. And I even see him doing some kind of painting. He might be like a painter in the film. Yeah, he might be like a painter in the film, and be like a struggling painter, I think. That's what I get, because you see how she's painting. But I think this film with Penelope Cruz is kind of like his alter ego. It's going to be comedy relief of how his life would have turned out if he weren't an actor. I just get that vibe. It might be wrong, but that's the energy that I get. So Judgment, Page of Swords, and Nine of Wands. I get very strong, especially with Nine of Wands. Lots of thinking. He thinks a lot. He's a big, big, big thinker. And planning. It's almost like everything he does now, he does it for a purpose. I think that when he was going through his tribulations, his tough times, he was grateful for every day that he was alive, and he started to practice gratitude. He started to go outside. I think he kind of had to force himself. Sometimes you have to do, but he's going to come out on the other side and be so happy with himself for following through. I think he gives himself like a month plan, year plan, and he makes sure that he follows through, which is very good. It's very, very good. But also Page of Swords, I see him getting inspiration from online. So, you know, maybe it's right. This person that did write to me and said that she thinks that he watches my videos, me and this other woman's videos, which is possible, you know. I do know some celebrities do watch my videos, which is not why I do them. I do them to help people. So if he does, I'm honestly flattered. I don't really do it for that reason. I do it so that we can learn and to grow a community. But I see him really like taking things in social media. I see him on it. Like, I do this too. Oh my gosh. I scroll I have to stop myself from scrolling the internet at night, like Instagram, all that stuff, and TikTok, and it's really, really bad. And then Reddit. Oh my gosh, Reddit. I'm on Reddit till like 1 a.m. It's so bad. Especially about housewives. Housewives and Love is Blind. But yeah, I see him just like looking things up on Reddit. I think even his kids tell him, get off your phone. He's like, no, but I'm not really. He becomes very hyper focused on things and people, which would make sense as to why I think he might become like obsessed with people that he loves. Capricorn moon is very much like that. Please tell me in the comment section what his Venus is, because I'm very curious. It must be something, it's either a fire sign or it's like Taurus, you know, because he becomes very obsessed with people that he is fond of. And with 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, he doesn't want to ruin it. He doesn't want to ruin his image anymore. Not in a pity way, but he just feels like I can't ruin it anymore, otherwise people are going to see me a certain way, you know. And it's normal to care what people think, you know. I just feel like by now most of the world is on his side. It's not even a competition between his ex and he, but I just think that he needs to move on with his life. If I were to give any advice, if he would take it, whatever. I'm not really giving advice, but I just think that the bigger picture is not what people think about us. You know, especially Geminis. Your life is not for you to live through other people's lens. It's for you to live your own. You know, so that's what I have for you guys. I love you all. Please don't forget to like the video and check out my membership. I did mention that I will be doing members only videos, so all the videos I do will be ad free in the member section. So check that out. I love you all.